So it's not just here that we're finding Jesus saying, "Oh, I've just come for all the Jews, and it's all about the Jews, about the Jews." No. Jesus in the beginning, when he was here in the physical, said that, well, salvation is of the Jews. That means that when he was born, that means the salvation that they were waiting for and all that. He said, "I'm here," and guess what? The Jews denied him. He said, "I've come but for the people of Israel." That means that, he came for Israel. First line. Now, in terms of who he died for, well, that's a whole different story. It's a whole different story when God says, "All right, I'm going to send you to Israel. I need you to become the light and light as many Hebrews and make as many disciples as you can." So, he's stuck with his mission. Now, what did he do after he resurrected? He told his disciples to go where? Unto all nations. Nations is a word that means Gentiles or Goyim. And also it's used in, I believe, Genesis chapter 10. And they're talking about the nations. That's it. It's very distinct. But I hear other Hebrew Israelites talking about that, oh, well, the Gentiles means people who are Israelites but weren't doing Israel or weren't practicing Israelite customs. No, that's not what Gentiles means. So I'm just giving you the definition. Do you see a completely different world view from the people who are actually there? The commentaries, the scriptures that we're using to find out where was this place, who they were talking about, versus all these wild interpretations of black Hebrew Israelites today. Talking about, oh, Edom is everywhere, and he's going to kill you all. Look at these. I found these two verses. Isaiah verses 63 and Revelation chapter 19 verse 2. And look, hey, don't you see? And they don't even realize once, you start picking up the text and reading it for yourself, you'll start to realize that, oh, you know what? Basically, this text is saying that, oh, do you know how God basically destroyed the Edomites back then? We're going to pull that text as an example to show what he's going to do with the enemies that he still has today. Who are those enemies? The synogogue of Satan. So do you see a complete, clear, precise difference? If you just read the Bible for what it is, instead of picking these individual scriptures and trying to spread whatever you think all over it. I mean, it's the same problem that I had with Sword Cut Sharply. If you look at one of my videos to his response, it was the same thing. He took this scripture and said, they're going to be our nannies, and they're going to, raise our kids and all this, at the end of time. Meanwhile, there's really no need to have butlers, waitresses, and nannies in heaven. Yet this is what they think. When you actually read the scripture, it actually says about how, oh darn it, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. How about you just watch a video? Because I can't remember right now. I can, but I don't feel like going through it right now. But what I'm trying to drive home is not only that, once again, Edomites are gone, and that and God did his job and destroyed them and used them as an example, but I'm trying to show you guys that there is a complete difference between what Josephus says, a guy that was around back then, and what the ISUPCK or whatever they call him say. There's a difference between what Ezekiel and Jeremiah written in 593 BC. There's a difference between what he said and what had actually happened with John Hyrcanus, which we discussed. There's a difference between what these people are saying versus what the black Hebrew Israelites today are interpreting. I've shown you a clear difference. So it's up to you, whoever you are listening to this, it is up to you to reconsider just flat out lies that they spread. I mean, I'll give you an example. I was watching one of the Pittsburgh Israelites recently, and I think it was around May 24th or something like that, May 26th, and they were saying the hue means brown. They just say things. They pulled out a scripture, I think it was Isaiah 14, and said, because of your forefathers, you will be punished, or something like that, and whatever. And they immediately were talking to the white people and saying, see, this is God talking to you. And I decided to go ahead and read Isaiah 14 or somewhere, and it was talking about the forefathers of the Israelites. You know, like, because of what your forefathers did, you know, you guys are going to suffer. So it was talking about themselves. And they do this stuff all the time. They just take scripture. I mean, I don't even know if I don't know. You know, I'm just a lover of history, and I love explaining things from A to Z and from a historical reference text of what the people were saying back then versus my own interpretations now. To be under a leadership like that is very dangerous. Look, that's it. That's the end of this series here. Leave a comment. You know, I hope this has helped you. I'm not trying to bite. I'm just trying to give truth. Please leave a comment. You know, I really pray for you guys that you guys would just really consider your ways, and I'm really try to think about, you know, the doctrine, and reconsider the doctrine that you sit under, because it can lead you down some areas that are very unnecessary, like racism, and also pointing the finger at the wrong people, thinking that there are people that exist when they have stopped existing. The Edomites I'm talking about. Alright, this is Matthew Solly, aka So Real, signing out. Over and out.